Hello again everyone, Craig here from Soundiron, and in today's walkthrough we're going to be checking out the new Iron Pack 3 Metal Tones version 2.0 upgrade. This library features 23 creative tuned percussion and atmospheric sounds carefully sculpted from a wide variety of resonant metal objects and surfaces. And it's perfect for many different styles of music, from cinematic scoring to experimental and ambient music. We also expanded on these sounds by creating 20 custom effects presets to jumpstart your next track. So without further ado, let's dive in and start checking out the sounds and features within the new Iron Pack 3 Metal Tones upgrade. So as I mentioned earlier, we remastered these samples and packed them into our 4-layer UI. And this is really great because now you have an ability to take these sounds even further than before. So for the first 2 layers, you got layer 1 and 2, and these both have the Metal Tones percussion samples. So let's go ahead and check these out. And all the samples that you just heard are going to be in layers 1 and 2. So the next feature I want to show you is this chromatic spread button right here. And what this does is it allows you to take any of these sounds and spread it across the key range. And there's a couple different things you can do with it. So let's select one of these kicks. And then when you go over here to this pitch wheel, you'll see a drop down for tuned and untuned. And what this does is allows you to either have it to where it's the same sound spread across the keyboard. So if you play it up here or down here, it's the same exact sample. So if you do tuned, what it's going to allow you to do is now play it a little bit more musically. So depending on what you're using it for, or if you're just wanting to have some kind of arpeggiated rhythm with just the same sound no matter where you play, you can do that. So let's set it to untuned, and then let's go up here to the advanced tab. Here you got a few other features. You got some LFO, filter, and arpeggiation. I'm going to go ahead and turn the ARP on. And then let's go over to layer 2. Let's turn this on, and let's pick a sound. So you got one of those low impacts right there. So what I want to do is take one of these low impacts and spread it across the key range, and then make sure that this is set to untuned. So that way, anywhere I go, it's going to have the same sounds. And what you could do is go to layer 2. Let's turn the ARP on. And I'm going to set this to, let's see, what did we have over here on layer 1? So this is 8 for the graph. Let's go ahead and set this to 8. And then what I want to do is only have it on this first beat. And then we can slow this down. So if you want to have something that's kind of building in intensity, you can do it like that. Now the reason that I do it like this is because once you start incorporating some of these ambiences, you're going to want to be able to maybe play it a little bit more musically while keeping the same percussive sounds going. So now let's go over to our ambisynth, and you'll see you have this drop down for ambiences as well as subsynth sustains and subsynth staccatos. So I'm going to keep it on ambiences for now, and let's just find one that we like. So that sounds really cool. And then we can even have another ambience as well. So because you have 2 different ambisynth layers right here. So let's find another ambience. Let's see, let's just check out this drop down. You got a few different ones. Let's load this one up. So you can see with just these 4 layers, you're already getting a bunch of stuff going on. So now what we can do is start utilizing the X fade. Now the X fade right here, if you learn this to your mod wheel, and then you choose how you want the different layers to interact. So with layer A, it's going to be at the very bottom of my mod wheel, and then layer B is going to be at the very top. And then what you do is you go to each layer, and then you have this X fade assigned right here. So if we want to fade into this one, but we want to keep this one always there, we can do that. So we got that first ambisynth layer, and then layers 1 and 2 with that kind of low impact, and then this sort of kick that's just looping. And then we can start fading in that ambience. And then if you want, you can even have it to where both of these ambiences come in. So let's take the Ambisynth 1 and we'll set that to B. So maybe you're really wanting to build intensity, or if you're scoring something and you just want to really have something kind of fade in. And then if you want, you can even pan these as well. So we have the Ambisynth 1 layer. Let's go ahead and pan this to the left. Ambisynth 2, pan this to the right, so you can have some different ambiences on the left and right. For now, I think I'm just going to keep them center. And then if you want, you can start adding some effects. So we can go into the effects rack, we can turn on some reverb. Let's find something that has a little bit more of a spatial sound. So we got cathedral. Let's check out some of these impulses. Let's do the church far. Dial the mix down a little bit. And then if we want, we can go back over here. Let's take one of these ambiences and let's do some LFO on here. Let's play around with these waveforms. We could set this to volume. And then this button right here, this little lock button, is going to set it to beat. So that way you can have it be a little bit more rhythmic if you want, without having to, you know, fine tune it or finesse it too much. You can make it a little bit more rhythmic. So I'm going to turn these off real quick. So you hear you getting that kind of like undulating volume. You can play around with the intensity. So this is pretty cool. And then you can even play around with the different types of targets. So we have volume, we have bass, treble, pitch, pan, resonance, and frequency. And I always like playing around with pan sometimes because you can get this kind of back and forth thing going on. So let's go ahead and turn these layers back on. And let's hear how this sounds. So it's really cool how much you can do with just one instance of the library. And this is what makes this 4-layer template so powerful, is because you have this ability to really get a lot out of it. So it's really cool, and definitely experiment with the X-Fade because you can really get some interesting movement in your tracks. So now I want to play just the ambiences for you so you can hear how they sound, because there's some really cool ones. And so when you click this drop down right here, you'll see the list of them. So let's just start from the top and play some of these. This is the one that we heard earlier. I really like this one. It's got a lot of this like really dark and haunting movement to it. So you can see some of these also have some of that percussive strike at the beginning of the sample. This one's really cool. And this one's really cool, especially if you use the pitch wheel, you can get that kind of downer effect. Especially if you go back over to layer 2, turn this on, let's turn the ARP off, and we can get an extra layer from that low impact along with this ambience. So now I want to play for you some of the custom effects presets that come with the library. There's 20 to choose from, and these all use the different features that I just showed you, like the LFO, filter, some arpeggiation. Some use different effects, as well as the way that the X fade is set up. So now let's go ahead and check some of these out. So this one's called Dope, and it uses the mod wheel. So that about wraps up this walkthrough on the new Ironpack 3 Metal Tones upgrade. If you want to learn more about this library or pick it up on our website for only $5, make sure to go to soundiron.com. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on future videos like these, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.